employee. Well, good morning, guys. Here, I'm going to take the opportunity to go over a couple of stuff. Um, what we find is that some of our employees tend to um, go away from the script in a sense from time to time. And I think maybe you are going away from the script simply because you believe that you want to be innovative. So this is what's happening. We've laid out a certain way of doing things, and we find that some people are not necessarily sticking to the way that they have been taught, right? And it's ultimately creating a problem, right? Or it will create a problem at some point. And so it's not that we're stifling innovation, because some people want to try something. You want to take a risk to see if you can do something better or something of that nature. But there is a way to get that done, because see, it would backfire when it doesn't go well, and then it becomes your fault and your responsibility. And when it becomes your responsibility, then you deal with the consequences of that responsibility. See, so we have processes and systems in place. I don't want heroes. Heroes in a business is not necessarily good, because they'll take certain shots that could put you out of business. And so if you have a great idea to move something forward, if you think you've come up with a solution to something, or you want to give something a shot, the way to do that is to get approval before you actually do it. Why? Because it insulates you from the problem, right? It's better to say, sir, this is what I think. I'd like to get this implemented. Is there a way we could give it a shot? And let me say, go ahead. So you can play with my dime, because that's literally what you're doing. See, now if you do it on your own, even if it works out, and it may work out, that's great that it works out. The chances of it not working out, and now we don't have a system, it doesn't work. And if it does work out, and it's just you, it still doesn't work for the company. So it's still better for everything that you come up with to be deployed in a systematic fashion, so we can know what we're doing. If we're testing something and we have a small segment of people that's testing it, it needs to be above board. I don't want heroes. I don't like heroes. Okay, they're all dead, by the way, just so you guys know, right? I mean, so it's important that when you come up with anything that you think may be innovative, make sure it's approved before you implement it. Now, I say that to say a couple of things. One, we found that some of the people that are processing the deals are processing, and when you go into a processing platform, it sometimes show you an application that's already there. We've taught everyone to create a brand new application every time, right? This is what you're supposed to do. Our own unique application based on a conversation that we had with the client, not one that's already in the system in Sherpa. You don't take an existing application and then modify that application, because then what happens is our freeway callers call, and when they call, they're being told, you no longer qualify for this subsidy. I mean, like, this is not, this time period has passed, or you got to redo your application. Now it's got to go back in the fold again, and this is happening quite a bit, right? So now you're a processing agent that decided to go around the system based on what you were taught. You were taught to create a new application every single time. You were never taught to take an existing application and modify that existing application that's already in Sherpa. And so what you've done is you've delayed the process. You've wasted the freeway callers' time. You've wasted marketplace time. You've costed me money. That's not good. I don't like that. Okay, so that's what's happening. What needs to happen is you need to follow the process. And the only time you change from the process is when that change is approved. You understand? If you want to change, and this goes for day shift, night shift, doesn't matter, okay? Because when you cost the boss money, it's not very good, okay? And so whenever you want to make a change, whenever you want to do something that's going to potentially impact the business in any way, shape, or form, or impact your process in any way, shape, or form, get approval first. It's smart, very smart. I don't like when people change the deal. Okay? If we have an agreement, because this attitude of changing the deal, changing the system, don't work. If we have an agreement that you come to work at 8 o'clock, see, that's my agreement with you. If you come at 8:01, it's you that's changed the deal, and you came up with a reason. I don't like that. You guys should understand that, okay? I believe in you, honoring the deal that we've made, period. And if we train you to take a freeway call and this is the way it's done, then that's the way it's supposed to be done. Until such time that that's not the way it's done, because in this business, things change. It changes all the time. It's not a problem. But don't go changing it on your own. Do you understand? If you come up with an idea, let's deploy the idea and give it a shot. Don't come up with the idea and go do it on your own, and next thing it backfires. We don't want heroes. Heroes are all dead. Nanny, Paul Bogle, Marcus, name them, they're dead. We don't want heroes. We want people that are going to be alive and well and will take proper risk within a company, understanding that they're taking a risk with somebody else's coin. And that's very important. You don't just squander it, but do as you please. I don't like things that are concentrated on 2 or 3 people or anything of that nature. It's not a system, right? We have a company, and we have to incorporate everyone in everything that we do. So we need to know what's going on at all times. So for the people that have taken the risk, processing deals improperly and has caused us to lose so much time and money and effort. It's a risk that you took, and it's a very bad risk that you took. I want you guys to follow the process, please, until such time that we do change the process. And if you feel like the process should change, you should bring that to management and let us work with you to get it changed. Don't do it on your own. You understand? It just looks to me like you're circumventing the process. We give someone a sales script, we tell them what the sales script is, the next thing we know, we listen to a call, they say something completely different. You're changing the script. We give you a way to process a deal, you decided that you want to go around that way, and you do your own thing, and that is inconsistent with the way a company is supposed to be run. It's very hard, because we're like an orchestra. You understand? We need to all be in sync. Every department needs to be in sync. Everybody needs to be in sync for the orchestra to work. It's like a production line. This part does this part does that part does that, and before you know it, we have a car at the end. That's how they move it. One part puts the wheel on the car, the door on the car right there, and it's moving along the line. And then at the end, you have a car. You understand? This is the way we have structured this particular business, like a production line. So everybody has their own individual responsibility. You have to follow, meaning each department. So you have to follow the process until such time that the process is changed. It needs not just to change for you. It needs to change for everybody in order for that process to work. This is a reminder to stick to the script. So if you were trained on processing and you were trained on processing a certain way, you stick to that process until such time that that process is changed. Or if you feel like it should change and you have an idea, bring the idea to us. Do not implement on your own. Nobody's allowed to do that, because it will go wrong sometimes. And it's great when things go right, but they don't always go right. Do you understand? Be smart about it. Let it be my fault when I say, okay, let's do it. Do you understand? Govern yourselves accordingly. Okay? I don't take excuses very well. I don't want to take excuses very well. Let's get the process smooth so that it works for everybody. Okay? Stick to the script.